Okay, and this should be the last installment of 5 of the video lecture series on memory. So this lecture would have taken probably a class period and a half. I know we missed 2 classes this week. So this lecture will make up for what we would have done the 2 days that we missed, pretty much. So this will get us pretty much back to even. Now, the next type of memory are procedural memories. Procedural memories are essentially muscle memory, okay? Memory for well-learned muscle tasks. Things like juggling or riding a bike. I always ask the question in class, how many of you can ride a 2-wheel bicycle? And everybody always says, yeah, I can do that. Not a big deal. How long did it take you to learn to ride a bike without training wheels? Probably at least a day or 2, maybe a week. You know, it takes a little while. A lot of you probably have not ridden the bike in years, but if I wheeled one into your living room or your bedroom or wherever it is you're taking notes on this stuff, you could probably jump right on it and take off, no problem. It's figuratively and literally like riding a bike. You don't forget how to do it. Driving an automobile. It probably took you a while to really learn how to drive. The first time you get in a car, you're not going to be an expert and take off and know how to navigate the wheel, the gas, the brake pedal, the clutch, all that other stuff. It's going to take a while. If you haven't driven in a while and you already know how, you could probably jump right back in there and do it. I've had inmates who have been locked up for 20, 30 years. And as soon as they get out, they're like, bam, they're driving. They can almost drive away from the prison if they wanted to. Because you really don't forget how to do that stuff. Juggling, if you play an instrument, you could probably play your instrument without looking. Texting is another good example. The first time you ever texted, it probably took you a while. You were probably kind of hunting and pecking on the key. It probably took you a long time to send a text. Now you could probably close your eyes and just fly through it and do it. You don't have to think about it. That's procedural. Those are procedural memories. You generally don't forget that kind of stuff. Athletes, I know a lot of you play sports, throwing a ball, kicking a ball, volleyball, soccer, whatever sport you play, you probably don't really forget how to do those things, how to execute those specific skills. So again, texting was one of my examples of procedural memory. Okay, skip the slide purposely there. Okay, now, episodic memories. These are memories for things that you have that you can place, you can in fact place within the context of time. Let me say that again. These are memories for things or events that you can in fact, you can place within the context of time. And I'll explain what I mean by that. Think of the word episode. The word episode is kind of in the definition there. If you think of an episode of a television series, you can place that within the context of that show or that series. Oh, that episode of Big Bang Theory where, where Leonard and Penny are just starting their relationship, that was like the middle of season 1. So you can place that episode, for example, within the context of time. I would ask you to think of your very first kiss. Okay, wherever that was, probably is an episodic memory for you. You can probably remember where you were, who it was with, how old you were. You can place that within the context of time, or any kind of first for that matter. Maybe a first date, or maybe the first time you drove a car. Probably you can remember how old you were, where you were at, where you drove, who you were with, probably your parents or somebody. So these are all examples of episodes, episodic memories. So there you go, first kiss, right? And the last slide and the last thing we'll talk about with this unit are semantic memories. Now, semantic memories, these are memories for things that you have, but you cannot tell me exactly where you were or what you were doing when you learn this. Most of you can tell me that the first president of the United States was George Washington. Everybody knows that. But if I ask you exactly how old were you, where were you at, what were you doing, who were you with, you're not going to be able to place that within the context of time. You're not going to know that. You might narrow it down to like, probably kindergarten or first grade, but you don't know for sure. But you know who the first president is, or was. I could ask you what an elephant looks like, how you screw in a light bulb. When did you learn what a stop sign meant? You can tell me those things. You have those memories, but you probably can't tell me exactly how old you were, or where you were at when you learned what an elephant looked like, or exactly where you were at or how old you were when you learned that red on the road symbolizes stop, or what a stop sign looks like. So there you go. that is it. The last part was a little shorter here, but that's it for the video lecture series on memory. Thank you very much.